The new rules are in effect and shall remain in effect. When the liberals want to return to regular rules of order, civility, not calling us racists and transophobes and misogynists and homophobes and the whole litany of litany of istophobic, phobophobic terms based on nothing more than them trying to attack us, I'm more than happy to comply and re-engage in the rules of civility. Until then, the new rules are in effect. You will be canceled too. So, cancel culture, has exploded, taken on a life of its own. You know what cancel culture is? Sometimes I talk about that. I'm not sure the audience gets it. Cancel culture is this. Let's find anyone who's a conservative, Republican, libertarian, or even a liberal who disagrees with liberal orthodoxy. And let's find something in their past we don't like, which, ladies and gentlemen, we all got. And let's make sure they are canceled from public life. What does cancel mean? It means get them fired from their job, humiliate them, pile on them on Twitter, make sure their kids are shunned from any public space, make sure they're kicked out of schools, make sure they're covered on CNN like the Covington kids so that their whole lives are ruined. That kind of thing. That's cancel culture. Now, keep in mind, the rules don't apply evenly in cancel culture. I hope you understand this. As we can see by this legal insurrection piece, which is a good one, it'll be up in the show notes. By our show notes, by the way, again, bongino.com/newsletter. You can subscribe to the show notes, just an email we send out once a day. The newsletter, the show notes, it's the same thing. But these are good articles, and I recommend you subscribe. Legal insurrection. Liberal and leftist writers condemn cancel culture with obligatory anti-Trump nod. This is important, folks, because the rules of cancel culture don't apply evenly. The left, the radical, tyrannical, police state left, cancel culture obsessed left, statue destroying left, wants you to believe that cancel culture is just a set of principles, Joe. It's all about people who've done horrible things in their past who should be removed from public life. No, that's not what it's about. Because when we uncover leftists that have done really horrible things, all of a sudden the rules don't seem to apply. Now, why is this legal insurrection piece important? Because now all of a sudden conservatives have found through social media, Parler, Twitter, Facebook, and elsewhere, conservatives have found a way from social media to make sure the rules of cancel culture are applied to liberals too. And Joe, liberals don't like that. Rules. No. We're just trying to cancel conservatives, not us. We can say racist, horrible, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic stuff. And we're not, what do you mean cancel them? Why are we talking about canceling those guys? So now that cancel culture has started to boomerang and slam liberals right in the cojones, they don't like it. So a bunch of libs penned this letter. You can see this. Here's the end of the piece at Legal Insurrection. They penned a letter, so you have some background, at Harper's. Some of these liberals saying, hey, after they attacked Trump, of course, which is always ridiculous. And they said, hey, this liberal thing, maybe this cancel culture, maybe we need to reevaluate this. Now they're trying to cancel the liberals too. So at the end of the piece, it says this: the left is eating its own now. Joe, didn't I say it? What did I tell you? The essence of cancel culture and identity politics is cannibalistic. Keep this up. William Jacobson, great piece, Legal Insurrection. He says the left is eating its own now. How many of the signers of this letter in Harper's saying, hey, this cancel culture thing's getting a little rough. We're starting to eat liberals too. He says, how many of the signers cared when conservatives were being purged? Well, let me answer that. None. How many of them participated in those anti-conservative purges, at least indirectly? I'll answer that too. None. How many fed the cancel culture alligator hoping it wouldn't eat them? The answer, probably none. That said, it's better that even the left is realizing that the monster they created is out of control. Folks, I did a show a long time ago. It was one of our most listened to shows ever. The show was about the new rules. How, if I may, point of personal privilege for the show, I was getting a lot of emails at the time. We did the show about 3 years ago. And I was getting a lot of emails from listeners where I recommended we take the gloves off and start to fight a little dirty with the left. I don't mean unethically. I mean politically. I don't mean immorally. I mean the way they fight. The principles are, supposedly on the left, that you've said anything in your past should wipe you clean from public life and humiliate you, then those rules apply to you too. That's not unethical. It may be a little bit politically dirty, But I said, folks, we need to take the gloves off. We're in a boxing match while we're wearing 20-ounce gloves. The opponent's bare fists, kickboxer style, with honey and glass on his hand wraps. You can't win that fight, folks. He's hitting you with glass-studded hand wraps. You're hitting him with 20-ounce gloves. You can't win. It's not a fair fight. You have to take the gloves off and start biting or something. You're never going to win that fight any other way. Some people didn't like that. Fair enough. Fair, your criticism. I'm always open to criticism. They said, remember that, Joe? They would write me back and they were saying, Dan, that's not right. We have to show the left. We have to show the left we're better people.
Let's not stoop to their level.
Yes. Good call. You see, you always agree. That was the essence of almost every, let's not stoop to their level. I respect your opinion. I'm glad you're here. I like criticism on my show, as long as it's not like stupid stuff, like when people cuss me out on the subject line, like deleted right away. I like that. I'm not kidding. I like good, fair criticism. But I'm sorry, I disagree. You will never change anything by setting one set of principles for you and another set of principles for your ideological opponents on the left. When you make them eat their own rules, when you make them swallow it whole, that hairball of garbage they call cancel culture, and you start canceling liberals, that is the only way they will stop the wholesale destruction of the republic as we know it. I'm very sorry. I will never agree with you. I'm open to your opinion. I always appreciate your feedback on the show. It means a lot to me. The show is for you. It's not for me. I can only listen once. Our hundreds of thousands of listeners are all you. But I will never agree with you. The new rules are in effect and shall remain in effect. When the liberals want to return to regular rules of order, civility, not calling us racists and transophobes and misogynists and homophobes and the whole litany of istophobic, phobophobic terms based on nothing more than them trying to attack us, I'm more than happy to comply and re-engage in the rules of civility. Until then, the new rules are in effect. You will be canceled too.
You just heard Dan Bongino.